There's a man in the woods. What a spectacle. Before the story started, the school was still respectable. My students used to run down the hill to the honeysuckle, pluck a couple and collect their fill. Except for one obnoxious kid, Sid, who just watched them eat the flowers as he seethed and scowled, as he couldn't bear share his sweet treats during our recess hour. I remember Sid saying, "There's a man in the woods." That's how the rumours began. Of course, Sid had spotted him first. The poor kid. He got him immersed in a spiel about a serial killer whose gun barrel glint hits at peril, a visit to the nurse, or worse, waiting just beyond the dale. The children saw it everywhere. "Look, over there! That man had Batman ears, we swear! And crazy yellow eyes. We saw something rusty. A shotgun? It must be. I saw a lady severed thigh." Trust me, every word I heard was absurd. Yet every day Sid still strayed past the playground. Who else was brave enough to save us from the killer's next plot? The rest of the lot would stay back at the blacktop, sure that any closer they would be found in the woods, left to rot. I pleaded for the kids to learn to be mature, but after a few more rumours, doomed my attempts to prove the school was secure, fear was undeterred. But when the buses drove them all home, the parents finally heard. Everything just blew up. I received a wall of emails and calls, of shrieks, wails and all from terrified families who have heard word of the murder and didn't like my lack of action at all. What was I supposed to do? Comb the whole forest? Yeah, right, would you? That means I didn't care? That's not fair. Stories you heard were not true. Of course that I would feel regret if there was a real threat and I ignored it. The poor kid got kidnapped while the kids were napping, but you couldn't admit that your good little kid would formulate a fib, so you ignored what I said. Your kid couldn't create such an incredible creation? An overactive imagination maybe, but my kid could never lie. How dare I? Accuse a child of being dishonest? How monstrous. The parents were displeased, and when the PTA took action, they dismissed me from the classroom like they knew what was best for their kids. How difficult it is to get a job with a bitter mum blatters your rep with child neglect from the outset. Now losing control of your classes. Single file lines, killer by the pines. Really? Are you blind? Will you find your spines? Sid, a child, decides to fill her minds with lies, and the next thing you see, people treating me like I've committed crimes. I was in my prime. Those kids were lucky to have me. Don't you see what you did? But I play along. I can be guts. You hear that, Sid? There's a man in the woods.